Good morning, everyone, to the Story Trading VIP pre-market prep. I was off yesterday, so we got like a few days of news to talk about. Maybe a little over 15 minutes today. We'll see. First, I want to note out we're going to look at SPY, QQQ, and ARKK. You can see those are down. Um, but I don't think necessarily this bear market rally is over. I'm looking at the major moving averages. Here's your key level right there, the 20 DMA. If the 20 DMA breaks, and especially if it closes below it, then the party may be over now, and we may be headed back to retest the lows. But if that 20 DMA holds, still a possibility. We have resistance here at 315 and then the 50 DMA. So that's Q, and it probably looks the same on SPY. There you see SPY right there. Very similar charts. And let's see what the ARKK chart looks like. ARKK 20 DMA is much closer. So that's something to look at over there. Maybe a little. Oh, wow. It's right on the 20 DMA. So pretty tenuous situation there on this bear market rally. Now, what has been driving the price? This morning futures got worse when Target came out and basically warned on profit margins, which is not a surprise. So I'm a little bit surprised the market's reacting to that because in their earnings report, they had said there's an inventory issue. So now they're saying they're going to be solving that inventory issue by offering discounts and trying to offload that inventory, which impacts profit margins. I mean, that was pretty expected that that would happen. Which I don't know. Maybe that's why it's bouncing off these lows. I'm not sure. But you see Walmart down in sympathy with Target over here. And both of these this morning hit, I think it hit new lows, at least in pre-market, 117 or so on Walmart. It was very close, but Target did hit a new low in pre-market. That doesn't count in the stats you see, though, on charting applications. So in any case, that's the reason for the price action this morning. You can actually see that in pre-market that things got worse when Target came out with that warning. Now, yesterday, what played into the move when I wasn't around, you saw in the morning things are very good, and it went down the whole rest of the day. I think that may have been attributed to Amazon, the psychological effect of the split. And you see all the buying in the morning, and then it cooled off in the afternoon. And in the end, net, I don't know that you're really going to see an impact on price because of that psychological move Amazon did. It was a very short-term thing. Though it may have had some action in here in anticipation as well. All right. I don't know if there's any research out there that says if there's any long-term impact on having a lower price target. I'm not sure, but certainly it has impacts on the short term, and that's a catalyst some people do play. So that's the reason why we had the pop yesterday, and that pop is gone, and now Target warned. So is the bear market rally over? I don't know, but I almost don't care. Check this out. A bunch of story trading stocks have really established themselves, and they're emerging as leaders. And I put the top three here right now that I think are. That's Clearfield, that was presented by Chris Tarber at a VIP weekly meetup. We had RELL, which was brought to our community by Julian. I kind of championed it after that, and we brought management, and I presented as a VIP pick a short time after that. And then we have Plab, which was put on our watch list by Tony, which we alerted to the great beat and raise the other week. And take a look at these three charts, and we'll look at their PEs in a second too. Clearfield, not bad. It's above all the key moving averages, not quite a 52-week high, but it may be heading there. Okay, this is recession resistant. They do telecommunications infrastructure. Then you have REL, which we have just like we do with Clearfield. You can go to youtube.com/storytrading and see the videos. REL is a very exciting story, both from fundamentals, technicals, catalysts, everything. Sentiment until you meet management. Management is not very charismatic. They can't tell their story very well, and the company doesn't seem as focused as we would love them to be. So it's not a perfect situation with REL, but I had some. I sold it when markets started crashing several months ago, but I picked it back up here last week. Yesterday, REL pre-announced preliminary Q4 sales 60 to 62 million versus 55 million estimate. And they're going to be at LD Micro June 7th to June 9th. Speaking June 8th, that's tomorrow. These will be available online. So tomorrow at 5:30 p.m., Rel is speaking. Get ready to fall asleep. Um, and then I believe they're going to be reporting on, it says it in the PR that they issued yesterday. This may be a great trade, by the way, to buy and then sell right before the earnings announcement, at least some of it, if you're looking for a trade. Okay, July 20th. Okay, so this could have rooms because June 7th. So June 7th to July 20th. They're in some great sectors, alternative energy sectors, and with windmills and not EV batteries, but lithium ion batteries. In any case, Rel's interesting. The news came out last week. Look at this pre-market. Oh my gosh. The bid is 1501. It's very lightly traded. I don't know. This is something I might want to pick up more for my IRA and also possibly for a trade if I get a good entry. I'm not going to chase it here at 1550 but if it's like 15 or below, I may be looking at adding. Thankfully, I did buy some last week as I saw the chart picking up and actually saw some people on social media start to take notice of this, which is okay. Then the story about Plab. We've talked about it to death, but it's still doing great. Although it has a little bit of, I hate these dark green candles, which means it did better in the morning than the afternoon. And it closed lower than it opened. I hate that. Maybe that's a reversal. I don't know. It's been up so much, but this is growing really fast. PE 15, a semiconductor industry. Okay, so these three are really standing out. And, I'm thinking of possibly making them core positions in my IRA. So we'll see. But in addition to that, I'm very happy that I started picking up the next three here, which are former StoryTrading VIP picks. Air and Identiv. Quick never was, but we heard a little bit about it in relation to possibly at some point being the next Air. So in any case, I love the story and the fundamentals at Air, and I was waiting for a good entry point, both from terms of technicals and also the macro situation. I was looking for a bottom, not necessarily the bottom in the macro. Possibly we got the bottom, as I've been saying, in certain risk assets. So that's why I picked up Air again over the last few weeks. I've been accumulating, and now they have a whole bunch of news. They announced that they're going to meet estimates the other day, at least. They're presenting today at some conference. They just PR'd last night at like 9:30. And then that's today. And then there'll be LD Micro tomorrow. Okay, so this has a bunch of catalysts right now, and it may run into earnings as well. All right, so Identiv, I always love this company. I had a big position for a long time. I sold it off in November when the risk asset sell-off started happening, and I got back in again on this one last week. Breaking the 50 DMA, profitable company. We'll have to monitor that to see when earnings are. It's probably in here, but I didn't check. But in any case, these are stocks that I think are really starting to stand out despite what's going on with the overall market. So Clearfield, Rel, Plab, Air, Identiv, Quick. I don't know the story well here, but the technicals breaking the 200-week moving average and hitting a 52-week high is very notable. You can see all the catalysts and the news releases coming out recently. I'm not in a position to say if that's a qualitative inflection point for them. I know the company claims that they're going to be getting to adjusted EBITDA break even or adjusted EBITDA positive by the end of the year, something like that. So that's something to watch. Okay, and then a few others I want to give updates on. AMDE, which was brought to our community by Matt S. is an ag stock. They're in like commodity trading, like wheat trading, things like that. They're expected to have a big quarter, but I guess they just did poor trading. They had a hedge or something. I don't know how this stuff works, but it didn't work out for them last quarter. All right. But apparently, according to Matt, that's all behind them, and they should be doing well going forward. So I also did pick this one up in the last week or two. And you can see here, it broke the 200-day moving average. So this is a good one to maybe have as a market hedge because there's been an inverse relationship with agriculture stocks and in general, the new FANG stocks. the new FANG stocks being, oh gosh, what's the F? Now I forgot. But agriculture, aerospace, nuclear, gold, minerals, and what's F? Someone has to tell me later. New FANG. How did I forget this? We have defense, this is aerospace, fuels, energy. Okay. But in any case, there's been like an inverse relationship, and this broke the 200 DMA. So this may be a good one to add if you don't already have it. I may actually add more to my IRA today because of that 200 DMA break. A few others from Matt Kolb has been telling us about Yitra online, and you can log into our community to see what has been saying. There hasn't been an official presentation yet. I'm going to see if I can get them to do that. It's like Indian Expedia, something like that. And they just had earnings the other day. They're trying to get some uplisting on some exchange somewhere. And you can see here it broke the 200 DMA and a little bit of a W pattern here. So this is starting to look interesting to me. Possibly, I'm not going to buy it here because I don't know the story well. So we'll see if we can get Matt to present Yitra to our community in the near future. And speaking of Matt, let's jump down to another one of his stocks, PTE. Yeah, PTE, which he had warned us. I mean, he's been a proponent of this for a while, but recently I'd asked him if it was a good time to get in. And I was like, no, I think they're going to be doing an offering soon. Wait till after the offering. And he was right. He saved me like 60, 70 cents or something. PTE. So I don't know, not my favorite type of stock in this macro environment, but there's a price for everything and a time for everything, a possible trade for everything. So this I'm looking at. It's trading below now. I think the offering price was around 250. You can look in here. 8 million registered off 240. It was 240, but there were also like, it didn't say warrants, it said options. I don't know if there's the difference between options and warrants, but there were also options with a 5-year term. Also, I think priced at 240 or it was 250, somewhere around there. So you can go look at the terms of that. Okay, so that was an update on PTE and Yitra. I did, by the way, ask him about SEAC because he was the one who originally brought Seek to my attention, which has not been doing well. And the market is telling us this deal with Triller is likely not going to go through. That's what the market's telling us. And it's at a key support level here. I'd hate to see this break. If this 70-cent support level breaks, and go back 5 years here, you see that's a triple support now. I could easily see this dropping a 50 or 40 cents or something like that. I'm already, I'm just going to hold this. We'll see it to fruition. You win some, you lose some. If it doesn't work out, doesn't work out. If it works out, it's going to double when the announcement comes out. So of the merger with Triller. So that's the story with the Matt Kolb stocks. A couple more I wanted to give you updates on. Oh, XCLB sounds very interesting. I'm going to see if we can really get Julian to tell us more because he's been on fire, giving us some good stocks this year, including REL that I told you about. It's a very good fundamental investor. And XCLB had some great news the other day where they sold Isaac Mizrahi business for $46 million in cash. You can see the market cap is $30 million. I think they have some debt in there that maybe that money may be used to wipe out. But even with that, Julian tells us this appears to be very undervalued. It may be worth $4 or $5, but he was kind of hesitant to give it his full endorsement. So because he wanted to find out more. So this is an interesting one on my watch list, on my radar, and we'll see if we can continue collaborating with Julian and perhaps get a presentation if he feels convicted enough to present XCLB to us. Couple other updates. KODK had relative outperformance yesterday, and the general direction it's moving with the bear market rally. But yesterday was a particularly strong day. I didn't see any news, but I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on that to see if there's any news. So we're waiting for that story to play out. Drio, we're waiting for the news to come out. It hasn't come out yet, unless it just came out. No, did not come out. All right. So we're waiting for that big news on Drio. All right. You'll know the story there. If you don't, go to youtube.com/storytrading and you'll find out about it. Mogo, just holding. I don't like this as like a long-term investment. This is a trade for me because it broke the 20 DMA and we have the catalyst. Niraj brought this to our attention that the beta app maybe coming to full launch this month. It's June 7th. By the end of the month is what they put in the conference call transcript. So I can imagine if that news comes out that this will shoot to the 250 DMA. Now it's dropping, right? So now it's like 187. It was 2. So the risk reward gets a little worse each day, possibly. But I'm holding that for the catalyst for that news to come out, and then I'll sell it on that pop. That's my plan there. RIBT, RIBT, you know about this. We did a big presentation recently, an interview with someone on social media who's a proponent for this. And it's kind of stalled out here, but this one also has been kind of moving inverse a little bit to the market. I've noticed like these ag stocks do. So if the market's down, let me just see what wheat is doing right now. Let's see, because it did have a little. Oh, see, wheat's been up the last 2 days, so potentially a tailwind for RIBT. So I'm going to hang on to that, and my target's $1 for that or close to it. So if we get a move on that, I'll be out at $1. Lilium is, I think, supposed to have earnings this morning. I'm not expecting actual earnings. It's a D-SPAC. It's an airplane electric vehicle company, but they had a management change recently, and they've been on a little bit of a PR run. If you can get past all of these lawsuits over here. Yeah, main wing transition. They brought the guy from Airbus over, and earnings. So yeah, they're not going to actually have earnings, but it's something to watch. Okay, not in it right now, by the way. And BCRX had news this morning. You can see a little bit of a pre-market pop that they got some sort of approval by Swiss Medic in. No, I guess it's Switzerland. All right. They got approval in Orladeo in Switzerland. So I'm currently not in this stock, and I don't know if it's going to go up on this news. Pre-market doesn't look superb, but you got resistance here at the 50 DMA at $11. And that's all we got. Looking at some other things, I try to day trade here and there, Chewy and Twitter and Galvex and Sega, and that's it. So let's just quickly go back and look to see if we have any news coming out. Raytheon news. There's BioCrest. Oh, 907. Is that Benzinga? Okay, that's the one we just talked about. MP Materials. I like this one. This is the rare earth. Probably good to have exposure to this one long term. MP looks like I got an upgrade. Gevo, what a mess. Thank God we're not in Gevo, but they had some good news after they did a big offering yesterday, up 3%. Japan Airlines enters into new fuel sales agreement with Gevo with 5.3 million gallons of sustainable aviation fuel per year over 5 years. So you can take a look at Gevo. I'm not in it, not particularly interested at this point. And Gavex, this is again one of the monkeypox ones I was just day trading once in a while to present at Bio International Convention. CSSE, wow, lots of news just came out in the last few minutes here. Cracker Plus expanded CTV ad inventory with AMDE. All right, does not look too market moving to me. And that's all we got. So we'll continue collaborating in the community. If you want to become a VIP and get these presentations live every morning, you could do so at StoryTrading.com. Right there, pre-market prep, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll be releasing the recording of this at 4 p.m. daily. And with that, we'll be collaborating in our WhatsApp chat rooms the rest of the day. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.